For a game that's now over 20 years old, Roller Coaster Tycoon has been getting a lot of love over the last few years. Its open source re-implementation, OpenRCT2, has a team of dedicated developers ensuring that it runs smoothly on modern hardware and operating systems. But what you might not know is that OpenRCT2 also has a robust plugin system. The game takes JavaScript code text files as input, which it can then interpret and run on the fly. This makes plugins easy to write and install, meaning that anyone with a little programming know-how can quickly add custom behavior to the game. Users have quickly adopted this system to add all kinds of new features. You can have access to a suite of debugging dialogues and ride hacking tools, or maybe you just want to make all your peeps explode to satisfy your eternal bloodlust when drowning just isn't enough. I've tried out many of these plugins since adopting OpenRCT2, and quite a few of them have stuck around to be a permanent part of my gameplay experience. So let's see what made my list of the best OpenRCT2 plugins at the beginning of 2022. Firstly, an honorable mention, or rather two of them. There are two different ride price managers by users mgovia and Sadret. These will calculate the optimal charging price for every ride in your park based on its type, statistics, and age in order to ensure that your guests pay as much as possible while not overcharging so much that they refuse to pay at all. They are both well-made plugins full of extra features that allow you to customize the way you extort your peeps and become a master capitalist. So why are these just honorable mentions? Personally, as a mostly creative sandbox player, I don't use money much these days, and when I do play scenarios, using plugins like this is major cheating, even when using the lazy tax to not squeeze quite as much out of their wallets. To me, it goes against the spirit of the intended gameplay. Of course, far be it for me to tell you how to have fun in your game, so if you think these plugins would enhance your scenario experience, by all means, check these two out. Number 5. TypeScript Mod Template by Wisnia74. Okay, so this one isn't really a plugin, but I had to give credit to what is still probably the most useful entry in the plugin directory, and that's Wisnia74's template. While making plugins with vanilla JavaScript does the job just fine, more complicated applications sometimes require heavy-duty tools to get the job done. Or maybe you're just interested in learning TypeScript. Either way, the TypeScript template is invaluable for creating, updating, and maintaining all sorts of plugins. I wouldn't want to write another one without it. Number 4. Soft Guest Cap Calculator by Sadret. It's not a particularly flashy plugin, but I've made good use of it in recent times. The Soft Guest Cap Calculator will let you know when your park's optimal capacity rises or falls after you've built or removed a ride, or whenever you just feel like knowing. It works by crunching a bunch of secret numbers under the hood that are attached to different ride types, and add them up to figure out how many guests the game thinks your park ought to have. It's perfect for knowing how close you're coming to getting to your goal in scenario play, helping you control overcrowding, and maybe even honing a new speedrunning strategy. It may only do one thing, but in the right context, that could be a pretty important thing indeed. Number 3. Park Rating Inspector by Bassi. Like with the Soft Guest Cap Calculator, sometimes it's really helpful to know how the game is calculating certain numbers. For scenario play especially, the park rating is one of those numbers, and it's one that could make or break your park's success. It's not uncommon for a park rating to suddenly tank when something goes wrong, and at those times, it's helpful to know why it happened. That's where the Park Rating Inspector comes in. It shows exactly how the rating is calculated and how your park stacks up, or fails to do so. This way, you can easily tell if your troubles are being caused by lost guests, litter, or perhaps some unsuspecting coasters crashed when you weren't looking. No matter the cause, fixing your park's problems just got a whole lot easier. Number 2. Ride Vehicle Editor by Bassi. At first glance, this plugin looks unassuming and maybe even limited. You can arbitrarily change your coaster's vehicle types. You can manually move the cars around the track. You can change their weight and speed. It's fun to play around with, sure, and it sounds harmless, but it really opens the door for a lot of new creative choices when it comes to designing your rides. And when you combine this plugin's capability with other advanced techniques like shoestringing, you can pull off some really amazing technical feats. There are a lot of great ride hacking tutorials out there that make good use of this plugin, so I'd recommend looking around for some. And number 1, Scenery Manager by Sadret. Placing every single piece of scenery one at a time, by hand, gets the job done. We've been doing it for 20 years, but did you ever wish your scenery tooling had a little more horsepower? Sadret's Scenery Manager packs a ton of powerful features into a single plugin. No matter your preferred playstyle, you're probably going to find something useful here. Not only can the tool copy and paste large chunks of scenery all at once, it can save patterns for later use, even in another park if you like. If that weren't enough, it also comes with its own scatter tool, great for generating force on the fly. And for the lazy scenario players, it'll even help you with placing benches and bins in bulk. And with fully fledged hotkey support, it's by far one of the most comprehensive and well-developed plugins for the game out there today. It might be coincidence that Sadret and Bassi are getting all the credit for these plugins, but I think it's well deserved. They've really helped add some great functionality to the game, and have set a high bar for whatever the next top plugins will be. I hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to download any of these plugins for yourself, there are links in the description below. Of course, there are plenty more plugins to explore, and many that are incredibly useful, if a bit niche. I highly recommend you explore the plugin directory and see if there's anything interesting in there that I might have missed. If you do, give a shout in the comments.